that we can start with our session. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit down slowly, that we can start with our session. The session is Vision Zero Approach for Global Supply Chain and is chaired by the ISSA Section Trade. Ladies and gentlemen, today's economy is characterized by globalization and cross-border trade with high sophisticated supply chains. How can Vision Zero and how can occupational safety and health included in such a complex system? This symposium tries to give an overview of efforts of companies, also as efforts from government agency. My name is not Sigrid Roth. She was the chairperson for this session, but she is ill and she's very sad to have not a chance to stay here and make this chairman or chairperson position, and many greetings from her on to you all. My name is now Klaus Schäfer. I am the technical secretary of the ISSA Section Trade, and in my main job, I'm the prevention manager of the ISSA, of the BGHW, which is the statutory accidents insurance for trade and goods logistics in Germany. So I have a double function today. I have to chair and I have also a talk, a speech in 1 minute. And we have 6 speakers today, and we have less than 90 minutes. So I hope every speaker knows how much time he or she has. So let's start with the first talk. The first talk is from me and from Udo Schöpf. Udo Schöpf is the managing director of the BGHW and also the senior vice president of our section trade. And we together want to introduce you into our section, into our work, and give a short overview about what we have done the last 2 years and what we want to do in the next 2 years. So I change position. And first, I thank you for your kind introduction. And I want to start with this session about Vision Zero in trade and goods logistics. So, what is our section? Our section is the latest one. It was established 2019. This is the more surprising because trade is since thousands of years international oriented, and there was no section for the trade at ISSA, and our BG decided to ask at ISSA if there's a possibility to create a new section, and this was made in 2019. And this section is hosted by our BG, by our statutory accidents insurance. And our president is also here, Seong Hin Ho, and thank you for coming. And we have also other people from around the world in our board. So what is our focus? Our focus is the globalization, the problem of safety and health along global supply chains. And this is a typical thought global supply chain, beginning with raw materials, production, delivery, storing, and so on. But in reality, it's not so easy. Global supply chains are much more fragmented, and it's not a single chain, it's more a net. And that's the problem. How can we implement Vision Zero? How can we improve occupational safety and health along such fragmented situations. Our working plan in our section is a two-folded approach. Approach one is more system-oriented and process-oriented. We developed instruments for self-assessment of supply chains to include Vision Zero and to improve occupational safety and health. And the second approach is more personal and application-oriented. We use our results from our research about fatalities and serious accidents to give information to improve the risk assessment in the companies. So the first approach is a Vision Zero guide, which has two parts. Part one is more informal. It's a concept. About the Vision Zero strategy for sustainable supply chains. It includes, of course, the 7 golden rules. It includes social responsibility of companies, and it also includes a new word, safety, health, and well-being plus. I want to say just in the next slide, what is this plus for? And the second part of this publication is of instruments. Instruments means it's checklists. There are templates to include the information directly into the companies. So you have, with part two, concrete doing for implement Vision Zero in your company and into the global supply chain. So what means that plus? I hope you can read, yes, you can read that on the right side. The plus means fundamental, including fundamental principles and rights at work. We know that without including fundamental rights at work, Vision Zero and occupational safety and health will fail. This is the basis of including occupational safety and health. And because of the supply chain problematic, we decided to include this part into the occupational safety and health. So we have not only safety, health, and well-being, but we have also the principles, fundamental principles and rights at work included. The concept of this paper is a 5-step process. The first step is, as always, someone has to start. One company has to start, and we have, with the 2 appendixes in this paper, a self-assessing process. This is Appendix 1, which includes the 7 golden rules for supply chains. So the first company can start and can make with checklists, can introduce with checklists a Vision Zero in this company. And after that, the second step is to ask other companies, suppliers, 1 supplier, 2 suppliers, all suppliers, to improve their occupational and safety and health system and to introduce Vision Zero. And for that, we have also an appendix. And if these both steps are made, then there will, we hope, starts a chain reaction that other suppliers, other companies will start to introduce Vision Zero and to implement occupational safety and health. This is the first step, and we published these in a paper last year. And if you want to read this paper, there's the QR code for this paper, and it's of course free of charge. It's a ISSA publication. The second step is the problem of the risk assessment. Here you see the 7 golden rules. I think you all know the 7 parts, and of course the strongest is the first, take leadership. Without taking leadership, Vision Zero didn't start, doesn't start never. But when leadership is taken, then the next step is identify hazards. And identify hazards looks like easy. We have to find the hazards in the company and then find targets, ensure safety and health, and so on. But if you do not know the hazards, or you do not find the hazards, then all other steps goes to the wrong way. And especially if you think in Vision Zero, we want to prevent fatalities. The knowledge about fatalities in most companies is not that there is no experience for fatalities because fatalities are very seldom. This is good, of course, but there's no experience for such accidents, and there's no knowledge about how such accidents can happen. And this could be a problem, and because of that, we published results of our investigations about fatal and serious accidents. And you see here the distribution on the left-hand side for fatalities, on the right-hand side for serious accidents. And it's interesting that only 7 different points can describe all fatalities and all serious accidents. 42% of all fatal accidents are because of traffic accidents. And this is without commuting accidents. So if you include commuting accidents, then more than 60% are traffic accidents. So if you want to go to Vision Zero, then you have to look at traffic accidents first. And the second is falls from a high. And then the third step is industrial trucks and vehicles. So this is also traffic, but it's traffic in the company itself. So this second step was made from us, and we have published these 2 publications also last year. They are also free of charge. And the first step is the knowledge, the analysis of these accidents, and the second part is the introduction and the help for the risk assessment with questions for the special kinds of accidents. So this is what we have done until now, and now I give to Udo Schöpf. He will now tell you what we want to plan in future.
Yes, thank you, Sigrid. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on Friday afternoon. I know it's hard. And yes, I hope it's here, yes. Klaus, he is younger than me, but nevertheless, I'm standing for the future. Yes, may I start with an idea, with a project we initiated now. It's very fresh. It's a very fresh project, and it's an idea how AI can make workplaces worldwide safer. Imagine a worker in Brazil, an inspector in India, or a site manager in Germany, all using one smart app to assess and document risks. This is not just a vision, it's a shared international effort driven by the ISSA sections BGBau and GISHW. With AI, we can provide targeted assistance, adapt to local conditions, and bring Vision Zero closer to reality globally. Next question, why this app? Risk assessments are often seen as bureaucratic, complex, and time-consuming, not as a hope for more safety. Our app changes that. It simplifies the entire process. Our app gives access to curated knowledge from across the world, and actively supports users with intelligent suggestions and structured documentation. And it's not just for one country, it's built for international use. Target groups. The planned app is being developed for those who are responsible for safety. Safety professional, project managers, ISSA members, and consultants. For example, consultants of our own organizations, but also I think it could be useful for labor inspectors. It's intended as a global tool for a global community. The key features of our app shall be, let's look at some, shall be, at first, it's a mobile application and it has to work offline. That's a must for work on construction sites or on logistics. It's a multilingual app. And it's modular design for sectors and countries, so it grows with the user's needs. Very important for us is to have good documentation options. We can document with photos and videos, and everyone can build their own custom content with the help of AI. And that's normal. We have an option to export to PDF and Word. Yes, AI-powered core, what does it mean? The app suggests hazards and protective measures based on context, location, and task. It integrates Vision Zero's 7 golden rules. Here is the creator of the 7 golden rules, Helmut Enes. Also, we want to integrate you in our app, but not just as a checklist, but as intelligent guidance embedded into risk analysis. The system learns from data from BGBAU, BGHW, ISSA, and other global best practices. You have seen, Klaus told us, there are a lot of experiences and knowledge in Germany, but all over the world. But it's not integrated in a tool. And that we want to do. Yes, very important. It automatically creates documentation, ready to export, ready to share. And this feature exists already in Germany. It's called BESA. It's called BESA. Sorry for it. And it already works in our German software and hardware environment. Sorry for the microphone. And it's a learning system for prevention. Infrastructure and impact. Beyond the app itself, we are building a digital infrastructure. This will allow countries from the OECD and the Global South to access and adapt these tools. Our goal is to contribute to the AI Store for Social Protection, a platform being developed by GIZ. GIZ is a German organization for financing international collaboration. By adding our AI-based solution, we support broader access, lower costs, and global cooperation, rooted in European independence from USA and China. That's in the moment very important to have a little bit more independence as in the past. Yes, and here's the roadmap. Yes, we are in the very beginning in the moment, but we have this roadmap, we have partners, we have a lot of ideas, and the pilot is in construction. We plan in the next phase personalized suggestions with AI, In the next phase, we will find an expansion to health, energy, and more. And then we plan visual risk assessment and training, integration of training modules, and further automation. This roadmap shows we are not dreaming, we are on the way to deliver. Why it matters. Why we are doing this? Because lives are to protect. We can share safety knowledge worldwide. Because it strengthens international cooperation in occupational safety and health, and because it supports the Sustainable Development Goals, especially decent works and global partnerships. Call to action. So here's our message. Join us in shaping the global initiative. Let's build this platform together across countries, sectors, and disciplines. Let's bring smart prevention tools into the hands of those who need it. And because safety is everyone's business and AI can help if we use it wisely. Hopefully, it will be a near future vision. We will work on it. And we can say it's a little bit born in Osaka. And thank you for listening. And technology is best when it brings people together and keeps them safe. Thank you. And sorry for my mistake with the microphone. I didn't notice it.
Well, thank you very much, Udo, for your presentation. I look at the time. Maybe we have a little bit time at the end of the session to ask questions, but now we are just in time, and I want to introduce the next speaker. The next speaker is Roland Krämer. He's the chairman of the board, the employer representative of the BGHW, and he's also a senior consultant for social affairs and safety with responsibility for cross-functional tasks with the Rewe Group since 2023. So the floor is yours, Roland.
Thank you, Klaus, for the nice introduction. And I would like to follow up on the previous speakers with a contribution from my own experiences at the Rewe Group as the head of the Department of Safety. The process with a detailed analysis and participation of all stakeholders, I mean the leaders and the employees, are very important for deriving measures if we want to act sustainably. And I would like to introduce you and illustrate this in 4 chapters. First, the Rewe Group is a cooperative with a very decentralized organization in Germany. The Rewe Group is a sustainability organization, and sustainability is part of our DNA. And our process-oriented and innovative occupational health and safety systems is from the practice for the practice. So, at last but not least, I will show you some excellent practical examples from various fields of action. We got some prizes for this. First, what is the Rewe Group? The Rewe Group was founded in 1927 in the city of Cologne in Germany as a purchasing cooperative of 14 independent retailers. Even today, the members of the cooperative, more than 1,800 independent retailers, remain an essential component of the company. They participate in the group's committees and are a driving force for the continuous development of the Rewe stores and concepts. Regardless of the types of company, the cooperative idea has a decisive influence on the success of the Rewe Group. And cooperatively structured companies have to be proven to be robust and competitive for more than 150 years. So this is also a good idea for the future. We now at the Rewe Group have almost about 400,000 employees in 21 countries, always European countries, and 300,000 of them in Germany. We have about 16,000 locations, the vast majority of which are in Germany. And our turnover, as you can see, is about 92 billion euros in 23. And in 24, it's a little bit more. As a trade and tourism group, we are part of every day, whether it's for food shopping, snacking on the go, do-it-yourself and garden products, or holidays or business trips all over the world. So our structure, as I said, is characterized by our decentralized organization and the different segments we serve. So larger so-called full-range suppliers as Rewe supermarkets with a wide and deep range of products, smaller markets in the cities for everyday needs, delivery services to have orders delivered at home, and just in these days, we opened our 2000th pickup station in a Rewe supermarket, so you can get your products directly from the market. Our so-called discount division, Penny, is characterized by smaller locations up to 800 square meters, simple and innovative processes and clear structures for customers. In addition, there are DIY stores, logistics centers, the supply to petrol station for food for sale, and last but not least, our headquarters in Cologne and our regional administration centers. So you see our challenge: decentralized, small and bigger operational locations. So I told sustainability is a part of our DNA. And at the Rewe Group, we already committed ourselves to sustainability goals over 15 years ago. And diversity issues are now a natural part of this. Our pillars, green products, energy, climate and environment, social commitment, and employees describe our main areas of focus. And what we are talking about, the employee pillar focuses on one hand on health and safety. This is one of the first topics, and this is what we are talking about. It is reflected in our occupational health and safety work as a service provider for our internal customers, our different segments. However, we cover all relevant topics for employees there in this pillar. In occupational health and safety, we therefore work with the process-oriented and innovative manner in order to be able to provide our services across the board. So the basis for our work is our occupational health and safety process map, which I would like to present to you here in a very simple and clear diagram. From internal administration to customer management, operational work, like inspections, documentations, instruction and trainings. We go all the way to interfaces with the occupational medical health sector, which is an external service in the Rewe Group. To ensure we are efficient, the basis is a good internal organization and communication across our entire system and our entire team of safety specialists up to the customer. The foundation is our SharePoint, where all information is stored and accessible. You can probably imagine the scope. It grows and grows and grows with all information. So maybe we go to a kind of big data, and this is a start to use it as an artificial intelligence. In our practical work, we follow the principles of the PDCA cycle. Somebody knows it as a Deming cycle in quality management. And for our analysis, we use a wide variety of reports, of statistics, which we consolidate, which we discuss with our specialists, with external colleagues, for example, from the BGHW, and important with our customers and also the employees. And then we can derive the results we need, the measures, etc., from them. The principle runs through our entire decentralized organization and serves to ensure the practical and, above all, accepted design of occupational safety and support in the implementation of measures. Let us now have a look to some practical examples. As I said, all of them were developed on the basis of a specific challenge or analyzed risks. All measures can be evaluated according to criteria such as the right target group, the relevance, the practicability, the simplicity, transferability, the area effectiveness, training, including experiential trainings like gamification and so on. And at first, I want to present an example from the field of our international supply chains as a short digression. So we are developing through and with an external partner organization a process to improve health and safety in orange plantations in Brazil. As you can see, this also involves the development of simple, efficient tools and methods for identifying risks. The focus here is on employee participation and the use of experience, acceptance by all parties involved, and the further development of solutions along the total value chains. The next example I'll show you, and now I'll show you some pictures. The next is a simple technical implementation with a high impact on truck unloading. Our safety lights on the tail lifts increase the visibility of the edges in practice and contribute to increased safety. It is technically absolutely easy to implement. It's quickly available. It's inexpensive to implement, and it's absolutely tailored to the target group. So it works. Another example, something very other thing. deals with aggressive behavior, violence, and conflicts. The challenge was to protect our female employees from assaults. To the end, we developed and offered workshops as a part of our prevention program. These measures can be implemented everywhere in a playful manner, if I can say playful in this contribution, and with practical training effects. Now the next, for instructions at the beginning of a training for our apprentices, we based our approach on a well-known game and used content relevant to our company. This playful approach leads to increased attention among the target group of young people, and they continue to discuss it later in their career. So if some younger people see me and say, oh, we played the game, that's great. So you know something happened. But now, how do we reach the general public, the whole Germany? As part of our health promotion efforts, we have developed an app that can be downloaded to a mobile device, also to your personal mobile device, and various areas of action are presented. In addition to stress, nutrition, and exercises, there are also practical recommendations for correct and safe behavior in various workplaces. So it is also target group oriented and can be used at any time, at any place. As a final example, in brief, a very specific project dealing with long, heavy kitchen worktops in the woodcutting department of our DIY stores. Moving these wooden panels have always been a challenge, but the solution developed with the users has now made it very easy, as you can imagine. And now I think my time is over. Klaus showed me 3 minutes. So as I only was able to show these examples in a very short way, I have brought you a QR code that will take you to a page of the BGHW website, and there you will find a description of all the measures that won the Golden Hand Prevention Award in film and text form. You will find our examples, and you will find many more award winners from recent years and from other companies in the retails and goods logistics sectors. So thank you for your attention, and arigato gozaimasu.
So thank you, Roland, for your wide overview over the efforts in the Rewe Group. And because of time, please sit down, and I want to introduce the next speaker. The next speaker is Dr. Nadja Schilling. She is Secretary General of the ISSA Section for Prevention in Transportation since 2020. And she also leads the Department of Research and Projects in the Occupational Safety and Health Directorate of the BG Verkehr, which is the German Social Accidents Insurance Institution for Commercial Transport, Postal Logistics, and Telecommunication. So, Nadja Schilling, the floors are yours.
Thank you very much. The name of my BG Verkehr is always a mouthful, so you managed well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you just heard in the introduction that there are several sections by the ISSA, and I'm representing a second one, as you just heard, the transportation section. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to talk about who is connecting the dots in the global supply chain today. So our world in general is connected, as you all know. Information is connected via the World Wide Web. People are connected through social media, and energy supplies are connected through pipelines. Global supply chains are connected through various modes of transportation, by land, water, or air. At the heart of every supply network is the transportation industry. Without transportation, there would be no supply at all, neither locally nor globally. So today I would like to talk about the drivers, the pilots, and the deliverers who connect the dots in this schematic of a supply network and what OSH challenges we face in the industry. In transportation, hazards are literally physically shared and they're passed on. They are shared through the mutual use of logistic hubs, ports, and airports, and they are passed on as potential dangers that result from bad packaging, improper labeling, and insufficient load securing. So this is why we need an effective culture of prevention in transportation to ensure the safety, health, and well-being of everybody throughout the whole global supply chain or supply network. So if you look at the industry, what are the recurrent risks that all the stakeholders in the transport industry share? The transport industry is one of the most dangerous sectors with high fatality rates. Implementing Vision Zero in this industry is very challenging due to non-stationary workplaces. We have very small businesses. We have often subcontractors and subcontractors. And so there is a difficulty of reaching the workers with prevention measures. There are deadlines, there is cost pressure, and this adds strain to the system. Each sector, road haulage, aviation, shipping, last mile deliveries, they all have their own safety culture and they all require tailored prevention strategies. At the interfaces like airports or hubs, workers from different companies and backgrounds must collaborate safely, often without shared safety standards or adequate training. Hazards such as poorly secured and labeled dangerous goods are passed on along the transport chain, putting all subsequent people at risk. So today I would like to take a closer look at two of those industries, road and air transportation, for the sake of time. Road transport is the backbone of most supply chains. This is often where it all starts. But it comes with major safety challenges. You heard in the very first presentation that many fatalities occur due to road accidents. So especially truck drivers face constant risk while participating in the traffic. They also work long hours, they often work alone, and they are under time pressure. That leads to fatigue, sleep deprivation, and mental strain. Life on the road is also connected to unsafe parking, unhealthy eating, and social isolation. We heard about loading and unloading being a problem. That's a high-risk task, especially when the cargo is poorly secured. And then we have often accidents in transit and at delivery sites. I would like to focus on two areas for prevention. There are plenty, but today I would like to mention the part of safe equipment and fall protection when working on trucks. And we heard in the statistic before that falling is the second most often occurring accident. So driver safety and health starts with purchasing the right vehicle. A commercial vehicle must be safe on the road, safe to work with, and a healthy mobile workplace. And this requires that the vehicle's future use is part of the risk assessment and that the model that is selected has proper safety features, such as safe access to the cab or superstructures. And so to help employers with the purchase, we created this brochure that you can here see second to the right, that summarizes safety features and provides guidance in how to buy a safe and healthy commercial vehicle. Every year, nearly 4,000 drivers are insured during faults while working with the commercial vehicle. They often slip, misstep, or they have unstable footing. And these incidents cause fractures, sprains, and extended absence from work. Some are even fatal. And this is why fall prevention is one of the key focus areas of our Vision Zero efforts at the BG Verkehr. And I'm not able to go into detail today what we are doing there, so I recommend on the right-hand side the Vision Zero publication with the Vision Zero practice volume, and there you can find the summary of our approaches. Let's move on to a second sector that I wanted to talk about today. I would like to talk about airports. Airports are international hubs where diverse teams must work seamlessly together to ensure efficient aircraft handling between landing and takeoff. Air cargo centers link road traffic and airside operations and pose constant logistical challenges for everybody involved. Despite the high overall safety standards in aviation, working in air freight involves significant risks. The globalization of trade and the demand for fast deliveries increases the pressure. Especially on the apron, multiple services operate simultaneously under the tight flight schedules using very different equipments. And this requires close coordination to meet the strict turnaround times of the flight schedule. Additionally, the complexity in handling various types of cargo in limited space is often challenging. So what are the physical demands that are tough on apron workers? Air cargo comes in various shapes, weights, and sizes, and that puts physical strain and safety risks to ground staff, especially if it's improperly secured. The containers and pallets are moved between aircraft and freight containers using specialized trailers such as dollies. And due to these varying cargo dimensions, good coordination is key to avoiding accidents such as falling from workstations or being hit or crushed by shifting loads. So regular inspections of work equipment are crucial, and so that's why we summarized a list of safety inspections in the safety information that you can see on the right, which gives guidance in what to look out for and what to do, how to do a proper safety inspection on the work equipment around the apron. Lifting, pushing, and pulling are common in apron and air freight work, and despite technical aids, manual handling and physical hardship are still necessary. In light of demographic shifts and shortage of physically suitable labor, I want to share a success story with you that received the ISSA Good Practice Award for Europe. In this case, the employer, in collaboration with us, established a workplace-based training program that improved both fitness of existing staff and the ability of new hires to manage the physical demands. Thereby, he also boosted team spirit and employee retention. What were the success factors? The training was near or at the workplace. The training was conducted during working hours. And the training was task-specific, so it really addressed problems around apron duties. The return of investment we heard before, people are happy if they have a 1 to 2. In this case, was 1 to 4. They had significantly fewer sick days and very high employee engagement and satisfaction. So if you would like to learn more about this best practice example, you can check it out on our website where you can find a summary for it. So the last industry I would like to touch upon is delivery. Delivery services link the supplier with the customer in the supply chain, and their drivers also face road safety risks, of course, due to urban traffic and limited parking. Many work as subcontractors, which adds even more challenges for their safety and well-being. So effective measures like safety training, ergonomic vehicles, technical aids, or road safety awareness are vital, but they are really hard to implement and to deliver to those people. With the boom in online retail, deliveries are ever increasing, along with time and cost pressure, customer expectations, and urban congestions. The result is physical and mental strain on those workers that deliver our packages. Similar to road haulage, occupational and road safety are tightly linked, and so many factors such as road users, other road users, road conditions, or traffic density, they cannot directly be influenced by drivers. However, there are other aspects that drivers can influence, like optimized road planning, vehicles that are equipped with assistance systems, regular driver safety trainings. And especially driver safety trainings build risk awareness and improve driving behavior. And the coaching focuses on individual skills, modern techniques, but also safe responses to critical situations. And so therefore, those trainings help the driver to prevent accidents and also limit associated costs. In Germany, driver safety trainings for professionals is financially subsidized by our insurance institution. So to sum up, safe transport via land or air or water, which I didn't talk about today, but that's the same, they are critical for a functional and efficient supply chain. Smooth coordination, communication, and ideally joint risk assessments are essential at logistic hubs, ports, and airports. Poor safety measures result in delays, incidents, and extra costs. Improper load securing, wrong pallet packaging, mislabeled content creates risks, and that travels along the chain. So therefore, standardized cargo reporting, clear communication, and cross-company coordination and cooperation must be established for the safety, health, and well-being of all transportation workers. Companies in supply chains are responsible not just for their own staff. They're also responsible for workers operating on their site and further down the chain. So in the end, that means connecting the dots in global supply networks is not just a matter of passing on goods safely. It's also a matter of passing on good care for each other. Good occupational safety and health standards for everybody in the transport industries and across borders are essential for the sustainability and the resilience of global supply chains. And with that, I would like to thank my colleagues for their input that helped me with the different industries and the challenges there. And if you would like to read more about the topic and also about water-based transportation, for instance, which I skipped today, check out the publication that is here or ask me later for it. That's a conference paper that was published earlier this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadja Schilling, for your overview of the dots in transportation. And we are late in time, so I go to the next speaker. The next speaker is Mr. Abu Bakar. He is the chairman of Workplace Safety and Health of the Workplace Safety and Health Council in Singapore. And he will present Singapore's efforts to advance workplace safety.
Good afternoon to all. I know this is, am I the last speaker?
No, you're not the last speaker.
Okay,
There's one speaker.
Because on Friday, the last speaker, then I say thank you very much for your attendance. Anyway, Klaus, thank you very much for your introduction. You know, when I was asked to deliver this speech, I was thinking, what can I share? You are all the converted. How can I convert the converted? But I guess there's always a lesson point whereby all of us can learn. So a bit about myself. My name is Abu Bakar. I took on as the chairman of the Workplace Safety and Health Council. Workplace Safety and Health Council is actually a national effort by Singapore, whereby you got all the industry, the president and so on, and also the regulator Silas with me, and Seong Hin used to be with us. So what we do is, we just an independent body to help us to push on safety. And that's where I saw this today topic, two things. One is on the supply chain. Because at the end of the day, as what Dr. Nadia said, it's all about connecting the dot. The supply chain is very, very important. Because within the supply chain, if anyone break, I think that's where accident will happen. So I think what I wanted to share a bit about the council. The other one that is about our journey itself. Maybe just bear with me. Basically, these are all the boring stuff. I got only about 6 slides. This is what we do, and I think all of you know, when you are involved in safety, you're supposed to train them, build up the capability, provide the practices, and so on and so forth. So this is basically what the council do. So with us, we have a secretariat together with the Ministry of Manpower and some other agency to support us to do this. So we build capabilities, we promote, and then acceptance. One of the important things that is what we say on a supply chain is how do we build that leadership within the industry. Today I attended a talk by Song Hin. Song Hin say you must, as a leader, you must know the way, show the way, and go the way. And don't walk away. Actually, you forget the last one, don't walk away. You see, actually it's very resonate to all of us. I think all of us know very well, as leaders, what we do. We set standard. Second, we role model. Third, we inspire. And I'm sure each and every one of you are very inspiring. And that's where you are now. And that's a very important thing about leaders. So how do we replicate doing that? So that's the reason why I think that's where the council are doing. We see how best can we do that. A bit of a background about our statistics. 20 years ago, with all the effort that we've done, I think Seong Hin, Silas had done a very good job in supporting the industry. Because if I can share the transformation of the safety of Singapore, when in fact yesterday I shared, safety 1.0 is basically anything happen, workers responsible. That is a very simple thing. That means anything that got accident, workers responsible. So as we progress, then we realize it's not enough. We can blame the workers, but sometimes the workers without helmet, workers without policy. Then you say safety 2.0. So safety 2.0, that means the company are responsible. We must make sure that the company follow the regulation, make sure the company team, the supervisor and so on are able to provide that guidance. That's where the supply chain come in. But then we realize, actually not enough. If you say individual, company, then we realize to motivate, that's where the supply chain come in. The industry are equally responsible. So we are very glad that we embarked on that journey about 5 years, 10 years ago, that we set up the Workforce Sound Council, led by the industry to do this. So that's why we came up with Safety 3.0. That means not only the workers responsible, the company responsible, the industry are equally responsible. Then we realized actually, look, if you are operating in any countries, the whole of government need to be responsible. That's where we came to 4.0. And what we have done is our Prime Minister himself set out a target 20 years ago. I think it's a very visionary when we were at 4.9. He said, look, what does it translate? 4.9, that means every 100,000 workers every year, 5 people will die. That type of statement is very mind-boggling. And people ask, for Singapore, we are very small. I think Silas shared that. We have about 2.2 million workers. As a population, we are about 5 to 6 million, 2.2 million workers, workforce. So in 2.2 million workforce, we're talking about every 100, you're going to have 5 fatalities. Actually, that's very mind-boggling. Why don't we start at the beginning of the year, we say, who are the 5 who are going to die today? So we clear the year. It's very, 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 very mind-boggling. So what we have done is actually, he gave us a target. Our Prime Minister said, look, within 2028, we must achieve less than one fatality. That means every 100 workers, 1. So when we talk about Vision Zero is not a target. Last week when I attended one session, people were talking about, when you talk about Vision Zero, it's a conviction. Vision Zero is a conviction. That means we believe that we will not have any accident. I think that is a very a tough call for each and every one of us. Because end of the day, it's not about the numbers. Every number, every accident that happened, behind it, you know, there will be a family, a wife, a husband, you know, a son, a daughter, who will always suffer. So these are the collateral damage. So we are not talking about the numbers. So while we are not talking about the numbers, these are the statistics that we have. So what we do as a supply chain itself, I know things have changed. The challenges that many one of us have for Singapore itself, that's why when we set up the industry, the Workplace Safety and Health Council, what we have done is we connect the dot. Every industry need to take that championship. So for example, like in our committee, which I'm chair, about 18 work groups. So for example, like if you are a president of the marine industries, if you are a president, you know, these are all industry captain. If you are a president of transport and logistics, and so on and so forth, even retail, Roland, even retail, the president of our retail hotel association, these are also responsible. So we have all these industry captain so we have all these task forces who are together reporting in this council, who at the end of the day, they have their own area of coverage. And of course, Silas also sit in this council. So what we have done is we make sure that every one of us are able to provide that brand, able to provide that objective to do what we need to do. And here I say it goes not without challenge. It is a challenge to get people responsible and so on and so forth. For example, like if we call WSS advocate, what we are trying to do is this. Recently, we organized a community of practice. We call it COPs, community of practice. That means if you are in the marine industry, you have a community. And within that community, there's a various SMEs, small, medium enterprise companies under you. How do you want to encourage them? And that's why connecting the dot, having control of the supply chain is equally important. So you start with the Ministry of Transport, you start with the Ministry of Manpower, you start with Ministry of Health, you start with Ministry of National Development. So when you build how you bring the people, which workers you bring, how do you train them? Ministry of Education, how do you train the people? So equally, if you talk about the whole of government, and that's where we are now pushing for the last 2 to 3 years, we believe we can set up that ecosystem. For me, I'm not a safety champion. I have my own fund. I'm a fund manager together with my wife. So, but we have about 200 few companies, portfolio companies, but we have to do our part. So, if each and every one of us do our part, and I know that we can do something. So, talking about supply chain, is equally important that all of us understand what role you play. And today, during the talk, people were saying it's not about doing big. If each and every one of us do a small thing, and we make a difference, influence, I think we have done our part. So safety is as strong as if each and every one of us take personal and collective responsibility of it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Abu Bakar, for your speech, and you're just in time. Thank you very much for that. So we come now to the last speaker. And the last speaker is Karina Jord. Okay, I learned. She's the global head of health, safety, environment, and S&R transformation at Maersk. And she offers today a behind-the-scenes look at how Maersk is embedding a sustainable safety culture. Very interesting.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you for still being here. It's Friday afternoon, and it's been a long day for most of us, so thank you for hanging in. All right, but as a final one today, I'll do my utmost to keep the speed high. So please hang in tight there. All right, so let me see if I can manage all my notes and the slide changer and everything, and you guys all along. And the microphone. And you, please help me if I'm dropping it, okay? All right, so have you ever bought a banana or shopped a piece of clothes or shopped a piece of furniture? Well, then you have probably engaged with Maersk one way or the other, directly or indirectly. While we mostly are in business to business, consumers all around the world rely on Maersk to supply them with all sorts of goods from the global marketplaces. My name is Karina Jørgengaard-Hjort, and I head up Health, Safety and Environment and Transformation in Maersk. I'm extremely glad and grateful for this invitation to share some insights on how we, as an integrated logistics provider, work to develop and strengthen a culture of safety and resilience in our global and very diverse organization. As a global logistics provider, Maersk moves a loaded 40-foot container around the world every 3 seconds. That's 12 million containers per year, or roughly 20% of the global shipping market. To do that safely takes a network of more than 100,000 employees collaborating in unison across 130 countries. Our purpose is improving life for all by integrating the world. We believe in an integrated world connected all the way. By integrating logistics, we improve the flow of food, goods, materials, and medicine that sustain people, businesses, and societies all around the world. As a large logistics company, we also want to provide safer and more healthy working environments and a more sustainable tomorrow for our coming generations. This is our shared responsibility within logistics. The commitment to responsible business conduct is deeply anchored in the values instilled by our founder, Arnold Peter Møller, as you see on the picture here. He started the company Maersk back in 1904 with the support of his father, Peter Maersk Møller. Our business values are constant care, humbleness, and uprightness to protect our people and our name. This core of strong values is serving and has served us very well, and it is enabling Maersk to repeatedly transform to grasp opportunities and meet the changing times without losing our way. Many of you know Maersk as a shipping company. Well, yes, Maersk was founded as a small shipping company back in 1904, but soon grew into a global ocean carrier. Later on, the small cargo carriers were replaced with large container vessels, as you see on the picture here. And later on again, our offshore operations were expanded to onshore harbor terminals. And over the past few years, we have expanded with a business that covers landside logistics and air services too. Today, Maersk has grown to an end-to-end integrated logistics provider by air, land, and sea, connecting the world with our vessels, our harbor terminals, and air logistics, and taking complexity out of the global supply chains for our customers. This transition to the integrated strategy has been and still is catalyzed via acquisitions, and most recently in our landside warehousing and depot space, adding more people and capacity to our global supply chain. With mergers and acquisitions comes great opportunities, and great people, and a wealth of knowledge and capacity and capabilities. It also brings different norms, practices, different technologies and standards and processes, and different leadership styles and safety cultures too. Welcoming new businesses to the portfolio and supply chain is followed by a sequence of integration activities to ensure that new colleagues and teams are safely and efficiently onboarded. The real challenge and opportunity lies in ensuring that while we continuously work to improve our safety culture in the more mature parts of our organization, so that is our vessels and our harbor terminals, they are the more mature, we also work very diligently with the onboarding of the newly acquired parts of our organization, our landside. And from a safety culture perspective, it is much more than just an onboarding. It is really about fostering a one company and safety first mindset and performance at all times, where everybody understands the accountabilities and responsibilities to embrace the same global HSE standards, processes, and safety leadership traits to build a strong, proactive, and sustainable safety culture where we continuously can learn and improve. Now, how can we achieve that from an enterprise level? To continuously develop an even stronger safety culture across all geographies and cultures, across older and newer parts of the organization, the importance of an efficient, holistic, and systemic approach is crucial for Maersk's overall safety culture. To become the best operator within logistics, safety is a business priority and a key element in operational excellence at Maersk. Operational excellence in Maersk means delivering on safety, quality, cost, and in that order in everything we do. And to do that, we focus our works on the levers: people, culture, and leadership, as you see up here, process and technology, toolbox, and then ways of working and collaboration. This approach ties directly into our business strategy and the outcomes we aim to achieve: safe operations. Safety isn't just a priority, it is really our license to operate. Now, zooming in on our systemic approach to HSE, our strategic pillars to continuously improve and drive operational excellence in health, safety, environment, or occupational health safety, and performance and culture in Maersk are building capacity, building capabilities, and building a very strong culture of care. This is a simplified overview you are getting of this model, but that is also to save a little piece of time. But building capacity is really about the standardization around standards and processes. We are working in a high-risk environment, so standards and processes are indeed needed. But to also ensure that we can unlock that best possibly throughout the entire organization, we also need to ensure that we have the right capabilities, the right knowledge and insights. And then, of course, most importantly, we need to ensure that we have a very strong culture of care throughout our teams of people and leadership. On the culture of care, it's really about that we are all leaders in safety, one way or the other, and we create working environments where people speak up, thrive, are curious to learn, and understand and feels empowered to enable safer workplaces. So now let's zoom a little more in on this last pillar, the culture of care. Rolling out standards and policies and trainings is key and will take us far. But focusing beyond that on our culture of care, leadership, and our people is truly what we need to move the needle when it comes to safety excellence within logistics in such a big company as Maersk. We have a very dynamic working environment, and we need to ensure that we at all times can work safely. Fostering safety excellence within HSE, or occupational health and safety, requires understanding and learning how safe work actually is done in different parts of the business, and recognizing what influences the frontline safety culture as well. To nurture a learning-focused culture of care, we set clear expectations for and train all our leaders in how to live our culture of care principles. So on the slide here, you see our 4 culture of care principles. So the first one is that we lead with care. And just to explain it very short, that is really about that our leaders, we expect them to go out and engage, listen, respond to the front line, and really learn what possibly can be learned to further improve the safety of our employees and those who are working with us. The next one is that we deeply believe in that people are the experts. Every voice matters, and we learn from each other to grow our culture. We also learn and adapt from every incident, and also proactively learn from daily work practices that go well to also prevent incidents. And then the last one, we are resilient. We operate in a risky environment, but we are prepared to thrive because we have firm processes and a strong safety practice in place to handle also extraordinary and unexpected work safely. These principles highlight the critical role of leadership and continuous learning in shaping our HSE culture globally in all parts of the organization. Oh, that was a wrong one. As I mentioned before, learning about what influences safe work in everyday operations is critical. We know that the working environment in our industry isn't without risk, and the biggest risk lies in the front line. That is why we constantly focus our efforts around not only learning from incidents, but also what influences normal and safe execution of work. The key to this extremely important knowledge is our colleagues in the front line. They are the experts in what they do, and they also know their working environment like nobody else. They know exactly what makes it either easy or difficult to conduct work safely. So the engagement with people in the front line is critical. Our culture of care principles, the ones you saw just before, where people are the experts and we lead with care, sets direction for how we enable learning from our employees by fostering psychological safety and trust. To further enable our safety culture with a focus on learning and the safety first mindset, we have recently launched a Global Safety Champions program to empower and support operational leaders and teams in continuously improving the collaboration around safe practices with shared proactive safety objectives too. Though it's still new, the program is already showing very great results where teams across HSE and operations proactively engage to create a deliberate focus on safety in daily operations. This really reinforces our key belief that people are the experts. Leaders are accountable for safety and healthy working conditions where all thrive. But we believe that all are safety leaders one way or the other, and this safety culture is really for all of us to own. That's the message we want to embed across Maersk. A true safety culture is one where we continuously learn from and care for each other, reflecting our core value of constant care. In Maersk, we have a strategic and systematic approach to drive operational excellence in safety. And one aspect of this is also how we frequently promote safety globally and makes it personally. One such initiative is our Global Safety Awards. Our Global Safety Day, an internal campaign celebrated across the entire organization. Last year's theme was curiosity. We chose the theme to enhance learning from each other because with an open mind, we can uncover risk and opportunities to improve. And it's also about fostering a working environment of psychological safety. The response was really incredible, and one standout was the My Why wall, as you see here on the presentation, where colleagues shared personal reasons why safety matters to them. It reminded us that safety isn't just work, it's really about life and well-being beyond the workplace. Another great example is the Global Safety Awards, a true exercise in crowd-surfing and co-creating safety solutions. When we say our people are the experts, we really mean it. Through the awards, we spotlight safety improvements, big or small, that have made a real difference. Their solutions are not only recognized, but also promoted and often scaled across the organization. And here you see on the picture that the winners are also celebrated by our executive leadership team. As I close, I would like to leave you with this quote that our CEO shared in one of our global town halls. Essentially, it's what we know already, that culture eats strategy and rules and standards for breakfast. Our global and standards and processes will bring us far, but a true safety culture is when our leadership and our people bring it to life. What we strive for is a resilient working environment and culture where leaders lead with care, where psychological safety and trust is prioritized, and where individuals are empowered as experts from whom we learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Karina, for your speech and also for being in time. Being in time. So we are at the end of the session, and there's another session after us, so we have to close the session. And I believe that the speakers altogether gave a great overview about the efforts the efforts being made worldwide to implement and improve occupational safety and health along supply chains in the sense of Vision Zero. And I would like to thank all speakers for being here, all speakers for being in time, and for all others also for being here and are interested in this session at a Friday afternoon. And we are at the end, and I wish you a nice Friday and a nice weekend, and tomorrow a nice conference. And I will close this session and say goodbye.